So, last week I talked about a demo version of a project called Codename Loop. It is a twin-stick shooter based upon Half-Life that runs on the Unity engine that aims to reinvent the game and breathe new life into it. This week I'm talking about another demo for a project that also has Half-Life at its core, but it's still quite a different experience. TimeWarp is a project that I covered somewhat recently, but some stuff has happened between then and now. Mainly, there has been an official demo release that you can play right now. And as you might be able to tell from the footage that you're looking at right now, and if you're not very familiar with TimeWarp yet, well, this doesn't look quite like Half-Life, right? Are you curious? Well, let's get into it.
Lambda Collaboration.
Last week we released the final result of our Garry's Mod screenshot competition. We finally released the Garry's Mod subcommunity recently, which was the last promised subcommunity from the original Multiverse lineup. So we wanted to celebrate that by having a competition for people to flex their scene building muscles and to create the best looking LambdaGeneration Multiverse poster. Let me run through the winners for you. We have 3 categories here. For the funniest submission, we got my entry for hashtag Gmod Multiverse by Cora Lilac. Holy shit. Get it? For the most creative, we got Sky Battle by Danskart. Lots and lots of stuff going on here, and it all takes place in the sky. Come on, we've all built some sky contraptions before, so this is pretty relatable. And for the most impressive, we got... Okay, maybe I went a little too crazy with this, but I did have all day. By One Tear. The scene build of all scene builds right here. And all of your favorite characters are here. Yeah, this is really nice. Congratulations, you all won a $10 Steam gift card. We also do have some honorable mentions. These pieces from Oz Cards, King Boss, and the Nico G-Boy were pretty good as well, and it felt a bit weird not to at least mention these. So yeah, congratulations to all the winners. I hope you enjoy your Steam moolah. And on an unrelated note, community.LambdaGeneration.com is now 2 years old as of yesterday. Everyone who signed up when the site first went up will be getting their 2-year badges on the date they originally signed up on. To see what date that is, check your profile. We just want to thank all of you for being with us. It's been an amazing 2 years so far, and I cannot wait to see what the next years are gonna bring us. Alright, now on to the actual video. If you haven't seen my video on TimeWarp back in February, then I highly recommend you to check it out. It includes a lot of information on this project that I might not get into in this video. But if you really don't want to watch that video, let me summarize for you what this is all about. TimeWarp is a Half-Life based project created by Cambreaker, and it runs on the Zash engine, which simply put is a reverse engineered version of the Gold Source engine that allows for extra features and graphical fidelity to be added. You play as patient number 84, who has a goal to stop an evil scientist called the Doc from collecting time crystals so he can travel to the future and become the most powerful person to ever live. Because apparently there will be a discovery made 50 years from now that has the answer to eternal life. In order to stop the Doc, you need to travel back in time using a time machine to collect the time crystals before the Doc's enforcers do. You get help from an AI called J727, or just J, to pull this all off. Sounds pretty interesting, and what makes this even more interesting is the project's art style. It basically looks like a cutesy anime, which I don't think has been attempted for a Half-Life based project before. But does it play a bit like Half-Life? And is it actually good? Well, we got a demo to play now, so let's get into it. The demo starts you off at the beginning of one of TimeWarp's first chapters. And it starts with a cutscene, something that we don't really get in regular Half-Life-like games. It's a pretty fun cutscene though, and it's surprisingly well animated too. It really helps that this project isn't going for a realistic art style, so they can get away with the animation being slightly janky in some places. I specifically like the moment where patient number 84 falls out of the tree. It's a classic slapstick moment that actually got a chuckle out of me. I mean, he's hugging the tree branch and everything. It's actually quite nice. The voice acting is also somewhat decent in these cutscenes. At the beginning here, you meet two detectives named Campwell and Peters, and they sound pretty professional. The voice acting for Jay is also really good. She might not sound like a traditional AI, but I think that kind of adds to the charm and the overall style of the project. I think patient number 84 sounds a bit out of place among the rest though. Don't get me wrong, his voice acting isn't super bad or anything, but you can tell that he has the least amount of experience out of all of them. It's really not a huge deal though, so let's move on. This chapter takes place in a mining facility in the middle of North America in the 1930s. But there is a little more to this mining facility because it hides an ancient temple of a serpent water god. And within this temple is where we find the first time crystal. But we can't, of course, just simply walk to the temple. No, we have to shoot our way through first. And we're doing that using a pistol, a magnum, a Tommy gun, some dynamite, and a pipe. I would say they all handle pretty well, although I didn't use the normal pistol much though, as my magnum was pretty well stocked for the most part. I played on medium difficulty, by the way. You use the magnum to shoot enemies more in the distance, and the Tommy gun to really mess someone up from a bit closer. And of course, you got the dynamite to quickly clear the scene if you just can't be bothered with everyone right now. Now, I believe there's also a shotgun somewhere in this chapter, but I couldn't find it unfortunately, so I can't really judge if it's a good shotgun or not. I guess that's something for you to figure out once you play this demo. I gotta say though, in terms of enemy variety, it seems a little bit bland though. You pretty much only fight one type of enemy grunt, and the game relies on placing those grunts in interesting spots and by increasing the numbers to make it a little bit more challenging. This will probably be better in the full game though, as we do have this model for a boss type enemy named Missy. Oh, it looks like she's definitely going to put up a fight here. Ooh. Now, I did talk about this project's art style extensively in the previous video I did, but I gotta say that I'm absolutely in love with how this looks. It reeks of early Japanese PlayStation game, and I'm all ear for it. In fact, you can turn on that model wiggle effect PS1 games used to have in the settings to complete the look. It's really cool. Now, I did actually have one minor technical issue while I was playing TimeWarp. You might have noticed the gameplay footage you're looking at right now might look a little blurrier than it normally does, and that's because I normally record my gameplay footage in 4K. But TimeWarp, as of now, actually had an issue being played at that resolution. When I selected the 4K resolution in the graphics menu, the game started filling both of my screens. Which, you know, I don't want. Any other resolution worked fine, but only 4K was misbehaving like this. Super strange. I haven't really had this issue with any other Zash games. Now, this is probably not too big of an issue. Most people aren't going to play this game at 4K anyway, but as someone who wants to record high-quality gameplay footage, this is a little bit annoying. Cam Breaker, please fix. Even though I'm probably the only one complaining about this. And that's about all I gotta say about this demo. I highly urge you to pick TimeWarp up for yourself because it's absolutely worth experiencing this. Even though the gameplay could be a little monotonous in this demo. It's really early in production though, so all of this can still be changed. So, you know, bear that in mind. Oh, and did I mention that it's free? You don't even need Half-Life for this, it's entirely standalone. So what do you think of TimeWarp? Are you eager to play the demo, or do you feel like you must skip this? Let me know in the comments, I'll be reading all of them, and I will collect them, and I'll make a nice little collage out of them.